I'm going to be ranking every single Nightmare on Elm Street film. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We have this tier list by Cody Leach, so shout out to him. First off, we have Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Outside of the remake, this film is my least watched film of the entire Elm Street franchise. And is it because I think it's a snooze fest or a nightmare? No, not necessarily. This film to me offers a different type of experience. It's not the traditional Elm Street film, and that is a good thing because the two films before this, the formula was very stale. This was something fresh for the franchise. It was cool to see Wes Craven come back, and this film is kind of ahead of its time. The fact that, yeah, Robert Englund's back, he's playing Freddy. It's a demon taking on, the persona of Freddy. Freddy in this film isn't my favorite look, no, but it is leaps and bounds better than Dream Child and Freddy's Dead, in my opinion. So it's cool to get a scary Freddy back. We get Heather Langenkamp back. We get Dylan, again, like I said, Wes Craven. And you get, some actors and actresses from the Elm Street franchise coming back. So all of those things are good things, in my opinion. It's not the traditional Elm Street film, but I think it's a good film, although I don't watch it very often. Up next is the 1984 original Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street, and no surprise, it goes right into the dreamy category. For me, Evil Dead 2 and A Nightmare on Elm Street, those films made me fall in love with the horror genre even more. It catapulted me into this genre that I'm a lifelong fan of now. And this film in particular, I'll never forget. Freddy Krueger absolutely terrified me as a kid. He ruined my childhood pretty much, and it was such a pleasure to finally get to meet him. Robert Englund was such a cool guy. I'll never forget the first time I watched the original film. I threw in that VHS, I ran over to the couch, I had a cover, I threw it over my head because I was little, I was young, and I was terrified, but I was also curious. So whenever I pulled that cover down to take a peek, Freddy's glove went right through that fabric and tore down, and the score kicked in, the main title sequence happened. And I was like, oh my God, I'm having fun, but I'm really scared. And this film, to be the first entry, is so creative. I think Freddy right here is at a good balance of funny, sadistic Freddy and very scary. He just loves tormenting his victims. And I feel like this film just captures Freddy and the kills and the creativity, probably arguably the best of the entire franchise, in my opinion. Up next, we have Dream Warriors. This one, I think, is such an overrated, just kidding with you guys. If I have to be honest with you, I think it is my personal favorite of the entire Elm Street franchise. Ask me tomorrow, and I may say, hey, I prefer the original over Dream Warriors as of right now, but it's safe to say that it is between these two on which one is the best of the franchise. What I love about Dream Warriors is that it takes what the original established and just adds to it. In the original film, yes, the kids, the teenagers, they did fight back, but in Dream Warriors, they have unique powers that add personality to not only them, but the dream sequence that they're attached to. And I really love the fact that Freddy, he just strikes that perfect balance of having these one-liners, being funny but in a sadistic way, and also being intimidating and being scary. And I just feel like Robert Englund is having so much fun in this film. I love the character of Kincaid. Really fun to see Nancy Thompson back. I just love this film top to bottom. I think it is a very fun film and just my personal favorite of the entire franchise. And following that, we have Dream Master. I like this one. I know a lot of people don't. I used to watch Dream Warriors and Dream Master back to back. We would rent them, and it was just a double feature in the household. It's not as good as Dream Warriors, in my opinion. You get the recast into Kristen, which was unfortunate, but Tuesday Night did the best that she could. Really liked the character, the addition of Alice, though. That is my main pro of this film, is that Alice is such a cool final girl. I love her character. I love the fact that when her friends start dying off, she takes, pieces of them. I think that is really fucking cool, and I love that final fight scene between her and Freddy at the end. Really just like this film. It's a fun film. Is it perfect? No, but I do think it's actually a good film, and I may be the only one that thinks that. Definitely let me know down below if you like or dislike Dream Master, but for me, I've always enjoyed this one. I think it's a very solid sequel. Okay, here we go with the remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. This film has kind of seen a resurgence and a fan base over the past couple years, and I am so glad for those people that can watch this film and enjoy it. For me, it's a nightmare. Whenever I checked it out in theaters, I walked in and I walked out feeling just numb. It was such a weird experience. I wanted to love the film or hate it. To have no reaction to it is probably the worst reaction that you can have, and that is exactly what I had. I did not expect Jackie Earle Haley to be Robert Englund. I'm not one of those people that is like, hey, you have to be just like your predecessor. No, I love the James Bond films. I like a couple different James Bond, actors, but you have to bring something to the table. And I felt like the script just didn't allow Jackie Earle Haley to do what he can do. And I felt like this film had such a lack of energy, not only from Freddy, which I know they were trying to do a more serious approach, but even with Nancy. I think that Quentin is way better of a character than Nancy, which is crazy because in the original film, Nancy is way better than Glenn. I do like certain aspects of this film, like the micro naps and a few of the dream sequences, were kind of cool, but there's just a lack of energy and creativity in this film. I really despise the makeup. I know they said they were going with a realistic approach, but what about Elm Street has ever been realistic? The concept itself is unrealistic. And just the usage of CGI looks horrible compared to the original, which used practical effects. Not much I can really say about this film other than I think it was a massive disappointment to me. Moving on to Freddy vs. Jason. This one I got to see on the big screen, just blew my mind. It knocked my socks off. I seen Freddy and Jason go at it in the theaters on the big screen. I loved the movie. Now, growing older, I see that the script has more than its fair share of issues, but we also have to remember that this film went through production development hell pretty much. For many years, we could have got this even as early as the late 80s, which would have been the perfect time, in my opinion, to see Freddy and Jason go at it, but I'm still happy with what we got. Are the characters in the script the greatest? Absolutely not. But I love seeing Robert Englund in his last outing as Freddy Krueger. I think he's probably the best part of the film for me. I love the narration at the beginning with all the clips of the Elm Street franchise, and I love the fact that he takes on the form of Pamela to, kind of control Jason throughout the film. And I love the final act of the film. It's cheesy, but it is just pure entertainment, and we get the title. It delivered. Freddy and Jason go at it, and they have a huge fight, and I just really enjoy this film. Is it perfect? No. It is watchable. I won't say it's good, but it is watchable in my opinion. Up next, we have Freddy's Dead. Now, most people would put it in Nightmare, but I would rather watch it over the remake, and I don't think it's a boring film, so I have to put it in watchable, but let me explain. It is at the very lowest part of watchable possible. Just can't put it in snooze fest, and I don't think, I would just rather watch it over the remake, so I have to put it in watchable. Robert Englund is actually having fun in the film. Even though Freddy is so far removed from what he used to be, he's a Looney Tunes character in the film. He is not even remotely scary. He is so corny in the film. The makeup is not good, but I do like that it is energetic. It has an energy to it. It's entertaining, even though it's not a good movie. It's almost so bad that it's entertaining for me. Now, there is some cool things in the movie. I love the opening theme with the Goo Goo Dolls. I love that. I would watch the film just to see that opening. I love the fact that Alice Cooper is in the film. You get some backstory on Freddy, and there are some other cool things here and there. There's more negatives than positives, but I would rather watch it over the remake. And I don't think it's a boring movie, which may be a hot take. Up next, we have Dream Child, which I think is absolutely boring. It is a snooze fest. I want to like this film. I think the poster is absolutely beautiful. Same thing with Freddy's Dead. I like that poster. But Dream Child, even though it has Alice, which is one of my favorite final girls of the franchise, I just can't get into it. I do like the gothic atmosphere of the film, but my main issue is with Freddy Krueger. I feel that Robert Englund is not even having fun anymore at this point. One of the lines that just strikes me is like, dude, he is just doing this for a paycheck, which hurts me to say that because I love Robert Englund. I praise him a lot. Is whenever he pours that alcohol on his arm and goes, "Bad year, Dan," I'm just like, oh God. There is like no wit to that delivery. The makeup, I think, is even worse in this film than Freddy's Dead, and that's saying something. I just don't like this film, and I want to, but I just don't like it. And to finish off this ranking, we have A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. I'll never forget watching this as a kid. I picked it up at a mom and pop shop, and I don't know how many Elm Street movies I had seen at that point, but to me, this Freddy was the scariest. I mean, the makeup looked really good in this film. He looked almost like a witch with his nose, how it was so pointy, and I love the scenes. I mean, these scenes have just stuck with me for years. You got the body, I've got the brain, and then when Freddy just rips out of Jesse and just kills Grady, that was so good. That terrified me as a kid. But as a whole, the film is the black sheep of the franchise, and it really just doesn't feel like it belongs. That is, to me, the biggest negative of the film. But being someone that, you know, I didn't really watch it quite often, and I even though Freddy was scary in the film, I just didn't like it as much as the other ones. Over the years, I have come around to it. So I'm going to say it's watchable. I kind of want to put it in good, and I may do that after a rewatch, but as of right now, I'm going to put it in watchable. I think that I would probably rather watch Freddy vs. Jason over it, but outside of that, I think it's way better than the three behind it. I'd love to know your opinion on how you would rank these films down below in the comments, and thank you guys so much for watching, and remember...
Welcome to prime time, bitch!